Welcome everyone back to Mr. Weather Updates. In today's video, we'll look at the latest on live radar from UKV temperature in the next 5 days, and the temperatures as well, precipitation for the next 5 days as well. We'll also have a look at the GFS, ECM, and the UK Meteo for the next couple of weeks to see what the trend is. So let's get straight into it. Like I said, I've got a new Facebook page that I have opened up days ago where I make post updates on. I would really appreciate it if you can follow it and obviously like and share it as well. Just make sure that I do make you aware that I do have a Facebook and it's called Mr. Weather Updates, and it gives you all the updates from the live radar, the UK temperatures, all that things, and also links to my video as well for people on Facebook. So if we do start onto the live radar, you can see nothing really much for me to say. I mean, all we're looking at in England is nothing. No precipitation whatsoever that has reached the continent, other than the some thunderstorms and a bit of rain as well over out in the Bay of Biscay. That is the nearest precipitation. We do have a few showers, though, moving in. I'm not too sure. I think it's fairly likely if that's going to evolve. If it does, could I get some rain there? But I think it's not going to last, unfortunately. Unless, obviously, that's not moving in the unfortunately, that's moving in the wrong direction for it to come. But, you know, otherwise we would know, wouldn't we? Fairly frequent lightning in this cell, though. But we'll have to keep an eye on it. But it's very highly unlikely it's going to evolve to anything and hit the UK, really. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. If you do have a look at the UK, if you have a look at the temperatures for the next 5 days, and also the precipitation as well. Really nothing much for me to say about the precipitation, really. Let's just get straight on with it, though. Again, other than the cloud, it's just clear, really, with some cloud and perhaps even some fog patches coating eastern England, most likely. That will quickly clear away. We could even see some drizzle, some light showers in the Midlands. Otherwise, that's going to stay away. Again, leading to a very nice, comfortable day. Now, the gusts will actually be quite gusty this day. When you have a look at the wind gusts, especially at the start of the day, we are going to see some very gusty winds throughout the morning, tomorrow morning, very early. So, we could see local gusts of 40 miles per hour winds, wildly 35-mile wind gusts. So, do be careful if you're in the south coast, because it's quite windy there, actually. Local 40-mile wind gusts is quite unseasonal for the time of year, just to let you know. Anyway, back to this then again. We've got throughout over the course of Monday, we could see a lot of showers spilling in from the south. There could be thundery. There's a bit of uncertainty about that, though. But if it's not going to reach very far, actually, it's just going to be spilling into the far southwest. Over to Tuesday, a little bit more cloudier than other days, more mid to high level cloud. Still could see some sunny intervals from there. On to Wednesday, we are having more likely chance of seeing some precipitation and some showers coming from the south, most likely affecting southwestern areas until it dissipates away. Similar thing to Thursday, we could see an isolated thundery shower popping up from anywhere, actually, not just in this shower area, so don't take it too literally. That's more concentrated in the southwest. That could spill in at times, though. If you look at temperatures, you can see. Let's have a look at temperatures, what it says today. It's saying we've got to about 32 degrees. And we did get to about 32 degrees. I think it was 32.6 in Herne. I think that's the highest temperature we've gotten throughout today. Again, very exceptional to see it again. So many days above 30 Celsius. This is the 8th consecutive day now. If you have the temperatures for tomorrow, though, let's have a look. You can see. Again, very warm day for many. Scotland, around the low to mid-20s, other than also the eastern areas. That's the same for England as well. Otherwise, in the rest of the areas in the south, we could see high 20s, locally low 30s, but it's a little bit more unlikely than previous days. So we could see 31 Celsius is likely tomorrow. If you have a look over to what is this, Tuesday, very similar day really, the heat slightly more widespread than Monday. Scotland again with 20s, and that's the same for Northern England, mid-20s again. Otherwise, rest of areas in the south, Midlands, sorry, and the south, high 20s, low 30s, so 30, perhaps to 31 degrees, more likely in the Great Windy region, so the heat does start to shift a little bit. Now, if you have a look over to Wednesday, very similar again, if not a little bit warmer in Scotland and Northern England. 27 Celsius is possible in Scotland, some mid to high 20s, and that's in far northwest, where it's quite cool there. England, again, mid to high 20s, maybe locally 30 Celsius somewhere on Wednesday. Otherwise, low 30s, well, in the Midlands most likely. So 30, 31 Celsius is still possible in that region. Now looking over to Thursday, slightly hotter day, gradually quite hot actually. Again, Scotland, mid to high 20s, mostly mid 20s really. Northern England, mid 20s, perhaps even high 20s in some areas. 29 Celsius possible in East Yorkshire. Otherwise, Midlands and the Southern England, high 20s, low 30s. So you can see widely 31, perhaps even 32 Celsius possible in the south. And that's the nighttime temperature. It's quite comfortable actually for some areas other than the south. If I quickly have a look at the Cape levels. Oops. Yeah, so let's have a look at the Cape. Oh dear, that's not good. Come on. I'm sick to death of this now. It's only a couple of days where we could see some real Cape going on, which is obviously storm potential. I will do a video on that if you're really confused what Cape is. Basically, that's the view for thunderstorms, but I will show you what the science is in another video. Otherwise, on Wednesday, you may have the first potential of a thunderstorm outbreak. Far southwest, though, in Cornwall and Devon. Nowhere near where I live, unfortunately. Just needs to be spread a little bit more, really, to the north, in my opinion. Or whatever. Over to Thursday, not too much, but there is a lot of Cape, actually, in this very far southwest. It could tap in into England, we'll have to see. It's a bit uncertain about that. But we could definitely see some activity going on in that area. That could await. If we have a look at GFS, long range, you can see, again, we've got that high pressure to the northwest. That's going to build in very gradually. We've got a thundery trough to the southwest, though. And as we go from over the course of the week, that's going to build in and probably going to supply some Cape and some showers as well, and that increases throughout the week. However, as we go from next week, the high pressure, it wants to try to build in again. And you can see it from here. I've got the southerly direction, very high thickness there where it's coming from. Extremely high thickness above the atmosphere there. I'll show you what that, shall I show you now? I'll do it in a minute. But you can see, if we had that pattern, we have a southeasterly type of pattern, most likely south from the continent, bringing some incredibly hot air. And I looked on the temperatures on it, still saying mid to high 30s, which is quite exceptional, really. I don't think this is going to verify, but it's a possibility if it's not going to get cooled down. If the Atlantic is inactive. But as we go throughout the end of the run, we still have a Atlantic sort of regime. At the very end, though, where we get a thundery trough, then it opens up to the Atlantic, and it supplies a more Atlantic seas. Atlantic does start to wake up, obviously, compared to what it was, really. The only difference is with this model, there's no northern blocking this time, so it's not going to be, that's kind of why that heat's coming in. So it's quite a good pattern for thunderstorms, actually. More like then longer spells of rain, if you know what I mean. Because we've got high pressure, the hot air to the south. We've got the cool Atlantic air to the north. Without the northern blocking, we haven't got that hot air to feed in. But we have. So that can definitely get some thunderstorms there. But more of like an Atlantic sort of regime. Cooler, maybe more unsettled as well. A bit uncertain about that, really, into the end of July. So I have to say, quite mixed, actually. So we'll have to see what happens there. So a bit mixed, but a bit uncertain as well. Really quickly, let's have a look at the temperature at 850 HPA, if I can find it. There we go. You can see throughout next week, the week after this one, you can see if we did have to waft in that southerly airflow, it would supply some incredibly hot air into the 20s at 850 is the mid to high 30s. It's like 37 degrees. So I don't think this is going to verify, but if it does, that's what could happen before we get an Atlantic cool down on the 27th, which is 15 days away, which is ages. Oh my gosh. So it's unlikely to verify, but we'll have to see what happens and what trend we get in each of the models. If you do have a look at the ECM, again, we've got a high pressure building to the northwest. A thundery trough is lingering to the south. It's less ambiguous than obviously the GFS of bringing this thundery low, but it could still, you know, if we get a weak weather, decaying weather front, the hot air rises, could get some time including on nimbus clouds. Otherwise, still, we are going into the pattern of a high pressure system to the west. We've got high pressure to the west, we've got a thundery low to the south. That is the perfect conditions for a thunderstorm, really, because we've got the clashing of the two air masses. You can see for the temperatures as well. Again, ECM is less ambiguous of the hot air, the incredibly hot air that the GFS was showing. Cooler Atlantic air to the northwest. That could definitely bring in some thunderstorms, I think. If we do have a look at the UK Met Euro, and again, we've got high pressure northwest, we've got low pressure to the south. And throughout the week, that should tap in throughout Thursday. Again, it's a very weak low, actually. So it probably won't do much instead of obviously supplying thunderstorms and showers, which again, it's not the best really to obviously relieve the drought conditions that the south are having at the moment. Otherwise, judging by this, it just look a bit more unsettled, but not like an Atlantic sort of unsettled. It's more like a thunderstorm, like a constant thunderstorm, a thundery low to the south, bringing thunderstorms and rain constantly. So quite a few interesting models really from some of these. So, you know, it kind of depends really. So very uncertain really on what is going to happen. But it does look like a thundery sort of regime with showers with still not much rainfall though. Let's say not much needed rainfall. But there's definitely a lot of uncertainty really, if I'm being completely honest. Thank you very much for watching though. Again, please visit my Facebook please. And please like and subscribe if you can. Just to help this channel grow a little bit. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next video.